It is that time of the month again where we get to talk about a new One Fight Night card, the big event for them in the month of June. Well, there's a couple actually, to be fair, but the big Fight Night card goes down this Friday, June 9th at the LUMPINEE Boxing Stadium in Bangkok, Thailand. It feels like ages ago that we had One Fight Night 10, at least it does to me. So I'm excited for this card. Not the most stacked fight night, but then we did just have One Fight Night 10, and there's some big other cards coming up, some big Friday fights cards actually coming up, so always keep an eye out for those. They do announce the cards in English like 2 days before the events happen, but they're always a good time, so they're worth tuning into, even if you don't know what the fights on that particular day are. Let's talk about One Fight Night 11. Before we get onto the fights I'm going to talk about a little bit more in depth, I wanted to shout out that I am excited to watch Amber Kitchen as always, because, British strikers and all that. Moving up the card, I am always looking forward to watching Nikki Holskin go in there and compete. He is facing Arian Sadakovic, who is a former lightweight title challenger. Nikki Holskin's been out for over a year now. His last fight coming at 1X, where he was defeated by Since McClinby, and then they were supposed to fight, him and Sadakovic was supposed to fight last year. I think it was like October time, and Holskin got an injury. So he's been kept out for quite some time, but anyone who's ever watched him before will tell you it is a treat to get to watch Nikki Holskin compete. Enough said. Moving on, the next fight on the card that I believe is worth talking about. Well, I should say, the fights that I haven't spoken about are still good fights, but there's just not that extra narrative, if you know what I mean. This is why you should tune in to watch the card. If you want to just watch good MMA fights, tune into, there's a bunch of promotions you can watch. I'm saying this is why you should watch this card in particular. Just want to make that clear, because I don't want to disrespect any of the fighters on this card. Tune in to watch them as well. But your reasons to tune in, the next one comes from the strawweight matchup between Mansur Malachiev versus Jeremy Miado. Miado on the best run of his career to date, 4-fight win streak, finishes over Lito Adiwang and Daniel Williams last year, looking to make it 5 in a row against an undefeated Russian, coming into the promotion for his debut, which is always dangerous with these Russian guys that have made their names in Europe and coming over 10-0, wrestling background, of course. Big stakes, because if he beats Miado, he's right there at the top of the division. And if Miado wins 5 in a row, some good names on there. The 4 wins he's got at the moment are all finishes as well. Probably looking at a title fight with Jared Brooks by the end of the year, I would imagine. So big stakes in the strawweight division. Up next, you've got the return of one of the best strikers on the planet. Super Bon is back. The former featherweight kickboxing world champion, of course, was defeated. His first defeat in one championship earlier this year. One Fight Night 6, I believe, against Chingiz Alazov in January. Lost the title by a pretty devastating finish. And he is back. He's been posting clips on social media for the last 2 months. Training out in Thailand and getting people excited to watch him come back, and he's coming back to face Tayfun Ozcan. Excited to watch Super Bon back, of course. I much prefer that they are doing this instead of having him go back in with Alazov in a straight rematch. I think this is a better move, and for both guys, to be honest, they're doing Alazov versus Gregorian. That is One Fight Night 12, so I'm very excited for that one, and I'm sure that a win here for Super Bon probably gets a rematch with Alazov anyway, of course, unless Gregorian beats him, and then but you know what I mean. I think that a win here, Super Bon's right back in the title picture anyway, so yeah, the right move, I believe. In the featherweight division, you've got Ilya Freemanov taking on Zoltsabseg. I've probably said that wrong, but it's a difficult name, in fairness. Not a whole lot to say about this one. Not sure why it's this high up on the card, if I'm being honest. Above Super Bon seems a little bit strange. I'm just going to check the official One Championship card to make sure that that is correct, because that seems like an odd placement, if you ask me. So I feel like, yeah, no, it is above. It is above that. Well, I don't know, beats me. Co-main event, you've got Cade Rotolo defending his lightweight submission grappling world championship against Norway's Tommy Langaker. This has been a contest that has long been in the making. If you don't know, Langaker confronted Cade at the ADCC finals last year and kind of called him out a little bit. I'm not sure, actually. I've seen a couple of... I've seen both sides of the story. I'm not sure how tense it actually was. It kind of at first seemed to me like it was just a bit of a friendly call out, but it does seem like there is a bit of tension between the two, which, not necessary, but does add a little bit of excitement. Tommy Langaker is a tough opponent. Is he the best opponent Cade's fought in one championship? I would say probably yes. Of course, a fellow jiu-jitsu specialist, which I think just makes for a much better matchup. Sure, it's interesting to watch jiu-jitsu versus wrestling or jiu-jitsu versus sambo or something like that, jiu-jitsu versus judo, but I just don't think it makes for the most exciting matchups to watch. And I think this one will be really good. Both of them have aggressive styles. If you're not on the Cade Rotolo train, you're just not a submission grappling fan, I guess. That would answer that. But he is a lot of fun to watch. He does have an aggressive style. He does chain submission attacks really, really well. And he is one of the best grapplers on the planet and has achieved an incredible amount of things at a incredibly young age. So excited for this co-main event. I'd say it's probably the best championship grappling matchup they've put on so far. The Mikey Musumeci versus Almawai from One Fight Night 10 was a pretty good one as well, but this is up there as well. And then finally, the main event, you've got Regian Eersel defending his lightweight Muay Thai World Championship against the debuting Dmitry Menshikov. Regian Eersel, how do I describe him? If you've not watched him before, he isn't a flashy striker. He's quite a fundamental striker, but he is so calculated and is so good at winning rounds when it matters the most. Of course, he is a two-sport world champion, holding both the lightweight Muay Thai and the lightweight kickboxing world championships consecutively. This will be his 10th win in one championship in a row if he defeats Menshikov, which is incredible. He won the Muay Thai belt last year at One on Prime Video 3 with a split decision against Intimate Klinmi, and then earlier this year at LUMPINEE he stopped Klinmi in the 4th round to kind of solidify the title reign and brush that close decision to the side so he can carry on. I haven't seen a lot of Dmitry Menshikov. I know that he's ranked quite highly by a lot of places in the lightweight division, so I am hoping that he can present a pretty stern test for Regian Eersel, who has definitely the potential to make challengers look like they don't belong in there with him without blowing them away either, if that makes sense. It's not always the most exciting fights, but technically he is just so solid, and like I said, incredible in the championship rounds, always manages to pull it out the bag when needed. So I'm excited for this main event. Like I said, watching Regian Eersel is always a bit of a case study more than I'm not like this is going to be a banger, but I am like, we're going to get to watch some technical clinic. My camera decided to cut out, but I was rambling anyway, so I guess we will leave it there. That is my short preview for One Fight Night 11 this Friday night. Not the most stacked fight night of the year, but there are definitely some good stuff on there, especially if you're a striking fan. To get to see Regian Eersel fighting Muay Thai again against Menshikov, that's lovely. Superbond's comeback, Nikki Holskin on the card as well. Pretty strong set of 3 fights there, and if you're a grappling fan, Cade Rotolo's back, and he's the star boy, isn't he? You got to watch him. So there you go. Thank you for checking out this video, and I will see you on the next one.